It's Wednesday, December 22nd here at the West End Gun Club. It's 6:15. Got here to re-zero a rifle that I can't do later in the week because it's going to start raining in Southern California starting tomorrow and all throughout Christmas, and I think till New Year's we're going to have some rain. Not sure how serious it's going to be. So re-zeroing a rifle, a 22 rifle in the rain, I mean, it's not ideal, so I'd rather do it while it's not rainy. And so today's the best day to do it, Wednesday. There's pretty much no wind. It's maybe 2 miles an hour, if anything. But I can't stay here too long because I do have work today. I actually have a meeting at 08:30, and lots of stuff going on in the cybersecurity world. If you don't follow, if you're not in IT or InfoSec, there's a serious vulnerability that was announced a few days ago. So everyone's scrambling to ascertain that threat to their organizations. And so we're dealing with that at work right now, just making sure that we're okay before we go on our holiday break. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and get set up. It's dark still. I think sunrise is not till around 6:50 or so, but there should be enough usable light or shootable light a little bit before that. And I don't need very much time to zero in a 22 at 50 yards. It's very quick. So let me go and get set up so I can just actually start shooting right when the sun comes out, and then take care of it, pack up, and get out of here so I can get on the road and get on my call. It's 6:42 and the sun's about to come out. Got enough usable light, so I'm gonna get started shooting. But so the reason why I'm trying to zero my Vudoo and my CZ is because if you haven't been following my Instagram or whatever, I got another zero compromise optic, ZC527, but this is with the Impact 3X reticle. So basically, I have my original Impact 3, which is their tree reticle, but it has their kind of that funnel thing at the top to use for, I guess, if you want to do some in-close quick shooting, that may be usable for sort of like military or, practical applications, which I have my original ZC527, which I have my Vudoo, and I moved to the CZ right now, but then now I have the Impact 3X, which is basically the same reticle, except it just extends the 12 o'clock crosshair farther and removes that funnel deal. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the ZComp Optic website, and they have the reticles available to download. I mean, you can download a PDF, I think, and I have it, and gives you all the specs on the reticle, the subtensions, and everything like that. Anyway, I got the ZC Comp from MK Machining. Got both of them from MK Machining. Pretty quick shipping. And when I acquired the Impact 3X, or this 527 Impact 3X, which I have here, I got what's called the Weedare. It's spelled A-U-D-E-R-E, Adversus, but it's pronounced Weedare. It's a French company, I believe. French, but they make their mounts in Italy? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It sounds French to me, but look that up. Don't quote me. Anyway, I got the Weedare Adversus scope mount, the one-piece 36 millimeter diameter, and this is their 1.5 tall mount, whatever that is in metric. So it came included for a really good price. So I picked that up during their post Thanksgiving Day sales. I needed a new mount anyway if I'm going to have another scope, and this is my only 36 millimeter scope mount. So I went ahead and got the Weedare included, and it's basically the same as a spur. I say because it has the same features as a spur in terms of adding pick rails to it if you need accessories on top of your scope mount. It uses a four screw clamp to the base, and it uses 6 screw scope caps for the scope. So it's kind of similar to the spur. It's not at the 45-degree angle though for the cut of the caps. It's at the standard horizontal. I actually prefer the 90 or the 45 degree cant cut on the spur because it does, when I mount on a spur, it does minimize, almost eliminates, excuse me, eliminates the reticle or the scope turn when you're trying to screw down the caps. Because on these flat, you know, with standard flat cut where the scope cap is, you know, top and bottom, when you screw down the screws and start torquing them down, the scope has a tendency to turn. So if you level everything out and you start screwing it down, you got to be careful because it'll sometimes turn, and you might be backing everything back out and trying to retighten to try to keep it level. So I prefer this, and I much prefer the American Rifle Company rings when it comes to the single screw because it's kind of a split ring, side and side. Excuse me. Sorry. For some reason, need to drink some water, but anyway, that's just something with the weed arrows. You just got to be aware of that. Other than that, it seems like a pretty stout mount. Check them out. They're much less expensive than spurs. A lot of people who have weed air versus mounts seem to like them. Anyway, that's kind of it. So yeah, I have two Z-Comp optics. 527, and these things are really awesome. But if one thing to note here, you'll see that this new scope doesn't have the scope chaps on it right now. I don't have the sunshade, and I don't have my caps on. I have new caps. I got MK Machining caps, scope covers, but the sunshade hasn't come in yet because in my excitement of buying another Z-Comp optic, I've totally neglected the fact that they don't include sunshades. And I'm like, oh crap, I need to get sunshades. So order that, and it should be in today actually. And then I already have a scope cap for it, so I'm going to put the sunshade with the scope cap, and I should be set probably this afternoon. Anyway, let me go ahead and get loaded up on mags, and we'll start shooting so I can get out of here and make my work meeting. I kind of had an idea of how many mils I need to come up from the complete bottom, and it's about this. I think I'm losing a little bit on this scope. So right now I'm 4 mils from bottom, 3.9 mils, which leaves me 30.1, I think, after the zero stop. I think I had 31.7 on the other scope. So I think I did lose about 0.8, but we'll see. But I think we're on, and I had to come, assuming this is all factories, this is factories bottomed out, and this is factory center, but I'm 0.7 of a mil left, which is about where that scope was too. So when you get into these scopes with very high quality control, I mean, you can kind of guess that, hey, that's where that scope, these two scopes, they should zero almost the same on this gun, and in the same mount, no less. I didn't even remove the mount. I just removed the caps and put on the new scope. Anyway, let me go ahead. I got it all zeroed on a big piece of paper, but it also has some shoot and see pacers on there that I'll shoot on. So we'll see if we get this thing dialed in. There is a little bit of a wind, but it's nothing too serious. Right now we're pushing 1073, which I'm surprised at considering how cold it is this morning. It's about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, with the 2mm, you just loosen up the set screws for the turret cap, and there should be 2, which thankfully the Zero Compromise, they put arrows on the top of the turret so you can find it, and so you're not like doing what I just did right there, trying to locate it. It should just be right there. So once you loosen up the set screw, all you're going to do is just move it down to the zero stop. And so what you're supposed to do is tighten it down a little bit, not to, and then press the turret cap in. So once you do that, so we'll just go and do that real quick. So it's still set on there. I'm just gonna just barely snug it up. Not even snug. I'm just gonna tighten till it hits the the resistance starts, and I'm just gonna press it down and pop it up. Press it down, pop it up, so it's on the gear, I guess, or they're lined up. Once we do that, I'm going to torque it down, which I need to go grab my Wera torque wrench, which it's in the Jeep. Let me go grab that real quick. So I'm sure these have existed for a long time, but I just realized that Wera makes these. I saw these at SHOT Show a few years back. They're torque drivers, but they're very fine torque drivers. And this one is set to, it's an adjustable from 2.5 to I think 11. And I know there's Fix-It Sticks does make an adjustable one that goes down pretty small, but I do like, I think no disrespect to Fix-It Sticks and the Slokey bits or torque limiters, I actually kind of trust this a little bit better for finer what am I thinking? Fasteners. So I think ZCO indicates they would like something around 6 or something. I've checked the manual, or 5. I'm setting them to about 4.5, which seems tight enough to me. And you don't want to strip these set screws, right? It's not a good idea. But once I set them to 4.5, that's it. So tighten down. We're good to go. So that's lined up pretty good. We're going to go ahead and check. We have 5/10 below the zero stop, which is built into the way the zero stop works. We'll go ahead and test it here. So I'm at 0. We're at 1 rev here, which is 15 mils. We have another rev. We're now at 30 mils. Now I have 31 available, 31.5. Okay, so I have just about the same as I had last time. So I have about 31.7, which is exactly what I had in the other one, was 31.7. 31.7 from the bottom of the zero stop on this Vudoo. So it's pretty amazing when you have these high quality scopes that they're gonna, I mean, I could take 2 of the same scope and they'll zero exactly the same way on the same gun with the same mount. Pretty impressive. But when you're paying $4,000 for a scope, that's kind of what you're going to get with this such high quality. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and set the zero stop or set the windage 0 right now, but I'll do that off camera. We'll take care of that, and I'm going to actually pull up the CZ on the table and on the bench, and we'll start shooting. We'll zero in the CZ. Just want to quickly show the data here. 30 rounds on the chrono. Looks like we have an average of 1074 with an SD of 8.9. But I'll grab the temps real quick to know what the conditions are right now, just so I have that from my own information. And this is Lopua Center X. So I was able to get the CZ with the Zero Comp 527 zeroed, I think. If it looks like I'm rushing, it's because I am. It's actually getting close to when I need to get out of here. So I think we're on. The wind is actually playing quite a bit of a factor here because it's throwing some rounds. to the right quite a bit. Because in this range, the wind tends to come this way in this direction to the canyon. And so when it comes in, it's going to swirl down this way. So it makes sense that I'm throwing rounds to the right, which is what I was seeing some side-to-side dispersion earlier with the Vudoo. I was using the blank spot on the center of the target as my way of getting on paper initially. And I was using some of these former shots to do zero testing. But anyway, I got dialed in. This is sort of where the Vudoo's at. You can slice between 1/10 of a mil either way on the 50, but the Vudoo's shooting fine. So I think we're zeroed on the Vudoo. CZ, it's getting a little bit wild. I don't like these. This is okay. This was bad. That one is bad, but I think we're zeroed in for the CZ sort of. The groups are not great with the rifle match, but it is what it is. Although wind is playing a factor, I know it's blowing some of these rounds here. Like you saw some of the side-to-side dispersion here from the wind, but this is probably more ammo and gun, but I know the wind is playing a bit of a factor. And this is from one of my trying to get zeroed in generally earlier, and this is not part of the CZ group. Anyway, we'll leave the CZ based off of this, where it's at. Could come 1/10 of a mil either way, but we'll leave that as it is. So that's pretty much it. Let me go ahead and get the turrets on the CZ squared away, and then I'm gonna pack up and get ready to get out of here. It's 7:37, so I need to really get out of here because I want to get a coffee before I make my call. But done zeroing in. I think the CZ is pretty much set, and this Vudoo is set as well. So good to go. Zero compromise optic. Surprised I bought another one, but I did get rid of a Razor HD AMG. I sold that locally. I'm actually thinking about selling my other Razor HD AMG scope because I kind of want to get the 4-20 ZCO, which kind of want to have that. Just have this as a kind of smaller scope to have on other guns. But kind of my goal though is having this other, to have a primary zero compromise for my Vudoo. This other ZCO, I put on a one-piece mount so I can just take it off and put it on other guns easily. So right now it's sitting on the CZ with a 30-minute rail, and this is a 20-minute base. So I have 50 minutes on this gun with the scope, 50-minute inclination. And let's just quickly here, how many revs do I got left? I got 15 mils. I only got 15 plus 13, so I got 28 and a half mils available on this gun. So theoretically, I should have just gotten I don't think they make a 30 or 40 minute scope mount. I'm talking about this. I think a sperm they might make a 40, I don't know. But right now I have 30 on top of 20, so tolerance stacking, so 20 on top of 30. So that's 50-minute total cant plus, the scope, but could use more. So 60-minute would be great. This is a 60-minute base with zero minutes on the spur. But that being said, I can use that scope on other guns. I can put it on AR because it's 1.5 height, so I can put it on AR if I wanted to. So I have some versatility here, just kind of portability on this specific setup here. So I'm going to keep this like that. But right now it sits on my CZ because I had my Razor HD AMG on the CZ, but I sold that scope, which helped fund this scope. And so it sits on the CZ since the CZ has no scope. But I'm thinking about get the 4-20. Won't happen soon though, because it's another barely still under $4,000, 3,700. Scopes are expensive, but the zero compromise, they make a great scope. I know a lot of people like Tangent Theta, and to be honest, I'd go Tangent Theta as well. I'd like to try it. I would have gladly spent the money, but 25 yard parallax minimum, which is what I need, since I would like to use these on 22s as well. So that's why I'm sticking with CZ. Yeah, CZ. Anyway, that's it. Enough babbling. Match this Sunday. It's kind of on. It's still on. It's the day after Christmas. It's supposed to snow here a little bit. I've only got 5 signups aside from myself, so It'll happen, but I'm hoping a little bit more people show up. I will have to do a range check though on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day to see if the rains kill the road. Because if it kills the road, I need to let people know that, hey, here's the road conditions, at your own risk, or I may cancel the match. But it's unlikely I'll have to cancel the match, but I will have to warn people how bad the road is. Anyway, if you're interested, sign up for the NRL 22 match day after Christmas, Sunday, December 26th. SoCalNRL22.org. And you can go to that link and I have all the info. If you're in SoCal and you want to shoot that match, feel free to come out. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get the rifles packed up, get on the road, grab some coffee, and I might be able to make my way home before the call. Otherwise, I'll just take the call in the Jeep. Anyway, that's it for today, Wednesday, December 26th, here at the West End Gun Club. Thanks for watching. See you in the next vlog.